Right, I think all of you are where I am now, hopefully. Okay, so this is a blank spreadsheet, and we are going to now create a little data table or database. You can call it a database, I guess, but it's more like a data table. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see better. And we are going to create this one that we see in the access. Okay. So it says here, create this, call it dog walkers, and so on and so on. And then here you will see it says create a table and call it customers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start with that. So I'm going to say customers. So I'm just going to put a little sort of like a header over here just to make sure that I know what I'm working with. And then it says we are going to add, obviously it says create a list, and we don't have to create a list. We're just going to go straight into creating the table. And it says create or add these records to the customer table. Okay, now here is it's not a secret, but it's something you should remember. If you were given the column headings, okay, in other words, the fields, now this is most the field, customer number, okay. So if you were given the customer number, this is your field name, and here you are given last name, this is also a field name, and first name. Okay, so you are given these column headings, and column headings are also what we call field names. Then let me just type first because I'm now trying to do two things at the same time, and usually I can do that. Okay, so what you were given on this table was the field names. You were given the records, and in Access you were supposed to say what kind of data type you were working with, and this would have been text, 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 currency, text. Okay, here we don't have to do that. Excel will do that for us. So here where we get to customer number, we can type, we are not yet typing. So now what you can do is you can make your columns a little bit bigger so that everything can fit in there. But it's not essential because it's going to look a little bit different when we start creating our table. So when you create this data table, there's one thing you must remember. In order to select or to change it to a data table, you have to select your column headings and the row below. That is the very, very important thing that you have to remember. So you have two rows that you selected. The first one being headings or column headings or fields. Okay. The second one, in other words, in row 3, this is where you will start to type your records. Okay. So you will select it just like this, the way you select anything. So you will just select it like this, and then you will go to format as a table, and in here you will now choose any of these basic designs. Okay. Now what I like to choose, and I'll probably tell you what to choose, but what I like to choose is if I have headings, I like to choose these ones that have a darker top like this. If you look at this design, it doesn't show a clear field at the top or a column heading like these ones do. So what I enjoy choosing is one of these ones that show a clear heading. Also this one. Okay. So let's say, for example, I'm going to choose this blue. Okay, so I'm selecting it. And the minute I select it, it's going to say, do you want to format it as a table, more specifically a data table? It would say then to you, where is the data for your table? Okay, and here you can see it says A2 to F3. So it is selecting A2 to F3, in other words, the first cell and the last cell. But now don't just click OK. I see that is a disease students have these days. They just click OK. They don't read. Now you will see my table has headers. Now it has headers. I just told you it has headers. I just inserted the headers. So now you will click on this one over here because these will be my headings. And then when you click on OK, you will see it makes a like almost like a heading here at the top for you with this table. Now look at what happens when I click out. You will see there is a little darker corner over here. This corner is just to indicate the growing of this data table or how it grows. Okay. So when you start entering your values here, when you enter, don't use, I'm saying when you enter, don't use enter. Okay. I want you to use tab. Okay. Why? Because when you press enter, what's going to happen? You're going to go to the next line. That means you're going to go out of your table. So when you enter, start in A3 or start here where you see customer number. And when you start entering, I'm going to say AB10. Now, instead of saying enter, you will say tab. Goes this way. Okay, I'm just entering the first one. Okay. Once again, tab. If you press enter, it's going out and then you are not in your data table anymore. Maria City is Grand City. And she's 45 rand or dollar and the number is 103. If I press enter, I'm going out of my table. But if I press tab, my table grows. And you can see that it grows. Why? Because now this little corner indicating that this is my table has now moved down, which means I have now gone to the second row of my table. So I can keep entering BR, what? BR 16, tab, Breton. Oh, these names. It's American. Oh. Alec, Empire, IT 105. Okay. Once again, when you get to the last one, you press tab. Okay. Again, now you can enter all of them. Okay. It takes some time to enter them, so that's why I decided to enter a few of them already over here. Okay. Why did I enter it here? Well, because sometimes you have an extract area and sometimes you have a criteria area. And it's just by habit. I always know that a data table is going to be in the middle because at the top there's a criteria area and there's an extract area. But you guys don't have to know that. That is advanced Excel. Okay. So now we are just going to, I'm just going to enter a few more. I don't want to spend too much time entering things and you guys looking at me while I'm typing on the screen. And then I talk and I type and sometimes I can't concentrate when I do that. But anyway, so you can continue with that until you have entered all of your records, and there is probably 10, yes. Okay, so that would be your first table. Okay, now before we start filtering and whatnot, let's just go and design the second one. And they say the second table is, I'm just leaving 2 lines open, and they say the second one is called walkers. Okay, I'm just going to give it a quick heading there. And then, of course, you do the same. What are we looking at in walkers? In walker, we have walker number. We have last name, first name, city. Oh, the dog is eating something. I hope it's not a Barbie. Phone. Okay. So once again, we are ready to make a table. So we are selecting the column headings and the row below. Formatting as a table. Let me choose orange this time. My table has headers and then I click on OK. So now you have created a second data table somewhere on the same sheet. And now I will just enter a few values. Once again, with tab. Okay. $555. Done. You guys, I'm sure every Afrikaans person will agree with me. When we enter numbers, we're going to think in our head in Afrikaans. Because if you think about numbers and you're going to try and do them in English, that doesn't work.
Yeah, man, it's best to think in like the language you usually speak.
Yes, because I can tell you my ID number like just like this, but only in Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And you guys can probably only do it in English.
Yes, ma'am. It's a yeah. Like no matter how many languages you speak, like when you think, it has to be in your own, and then you translate it.
Yeah, exactly. I speak English and I speak Afrikaans, but obviously English is not my mother tongue. So when I say my ID number, it has to be in Afrikaans.
Yeah.
Oh, we are
Translate
just
it.
so terrible. And I would have loved to speak. I can speak a little bit of Korean and so on, but yeah, I wish I could speak it like just like that. Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
nice. Ah, I would have, of course, I would have liked to speak French, man. That sounds so lekker.
Yeah, it's interesting with people who are able to speak like 14 whatever languages because
Phew.
they're just having fun.
I don't know how legitimate that is, really. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd say like 6, 7 is like believable,
Yeah,
but
I
14 is
think
like
six or
this.
seven is probably fair. But if
Yeah.
you tell me you speak 10, oh, come on, I'm in. Don't lie. And if you say you speak Chinese, yo, I'll be very impressed because
Yeah.
I studied Chinese for 2 years, and until this day I cannot speak Chinese.
Yeah, but even the text with like Mandarin and Chinese like looks very complicated. I'm not.
Yeah, very, very complicated. And then you also have the traditional characters and then you have the modern characters and they also don't look the same. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is never gonna happen. But I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's not. But if you want to learn a foreign language or an Eastern language, at least Korean has an alphabet, so you can kind of read if you can tell the sound. But
Yeah.
in Chinese, that picture is that word. And there's
Now that's
20,000.
so weird. Like when I see people saying a word, like it just looks like a picture, and then they
Yeah,
pronounce it like so many syllables. I'm like, how is that even? It must be so
yeah.
tough.
It's and then if you say if you put the accent on, let me use a Afrikaans word, or let me use mama, 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 mama. All of them mean different things. All of them.
Oh my
So
word.
your life is
Yeah,
now
that's tough.
too short for that kind of language learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm not going to finish this table. It's going to take me forever. But it's not going to take me forever. This one is finished, but let's focus on the filtering. So as you can see, every little header has a little arrow. And this arrow, when you click on it, you can actually do quite a few things with this table. You can sort alphabetically, you can sort from Z to A, you can even sort by color. For example, if you sort by color, you will notice that this is a blue and this is a white line. So if you choose to sort blue, it will only show the blues, or by white, it will only show the white lines. I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but you can. And then here at the bottom, you can also filter. For example, if you want to show only this specific one, then you will deselect everything and you will say OK, and it will show only this one. And then you will notice that there's a tiny little filter indicated here at the top, which means that there's a filter applied to this specific field. Okay. Now, of course, you don't want it to always be like that. So you can, whenever you're done filtering something, you can just click on clear the filter and it will clear it and it will be the way it was. Now, if you look at the more or less the queries that we have, it says that we must find all walkers from Grand City. Okay. Now here we are in the walkers table. So if we have to find walkers from Grand City, it would be quite an easy filter. For example, I can click on this arrow and I can just select everything except Grand City, and that would show me only Grand City entries. So let's say, for example, query 1 is now saying find all walkers from Grand City, and this is the result that you got. How would you now show me that you found these results, because you're going to clear your filter? So what I've always suggested is that you open yourself a new sheet here and you call it results or queries, or what shall we call it? Yo, I can't spell today. Whoa. It's because we said now, it's because we spoke about Africa and now I can't say anything. You know, at least I'm still human. I guess it would have been a problem if I wasn't. So here I
Yeah.
found all my results for query 1. Okay, so what you can do is, then I would recommend you just select this, copy, go to your sheet 3, paste your results, and then you can actually, instead of saying queries, you can just say query 1. Then you just skip a line, and here you will say query 2. So this is easier because now you have all your results here on the same page, and when I mark it or whatever, I can simply just come and look here and I can mark from here. I can even print this and it will just print one page. Of course, you are not going to print in the exam. So that is how I would suggest you do it. And then when you come back and you're ready to start your second query, you remove your filter. But it doesn't matter because you just got the result and you pasted it on the second sheet, or in this case, sheet 3, and you are ready to go. Ja, it's okay. Papa sal nou kom. Kom ook nou. The dog is hurt. Anyway, so let's look at query number 2. Find all customers with a balance between 40 and 80. Now that's a lucky one actually, because you're going to work with balance only. So in balance, you will see there's actually quite a few number filters, which is nice. Now this filter says between 40 and 80. And there's actually, if you go down here, you will see there is actually a choice that says between. So when you click on it, you can choose. Is greater than, or it doesn't say, is it saying, it says between 40 and 80, so it doesn't necessarily mean equal to, but if you don't want equal to, you can just say is greater than, what, 40, or is less than, but we're not going to say equal to 80. Okay. So in other words, we are looking for everything between 40 and 80, and there we find our results. So once again, I just take my mouse, I select, I copy, I go here, and I say paste. And here it pastes my result. Of course, now I'm just making this a little bit bigger just so it looks a bit nicer. Walker number is cut off. Okay. So here I already wrote query 2, so now gaan ek aan. Sien, I'm already in Afrikaans again. Here we go. Query 3. Now I'm ready for my third, and I have my results here, so no need to stress. So once again, I go back to my table, I clear my filter, because every time you need to clear, if you don't clear, it's going to filter on the filter. Okay, I hope you guys listen to this video, because you're gonna do this in exam and you're gonna not know what to do. Okay, find the customers from Empire that uses Walker 103. Okay, so if you're looking for a specific city and you want specific city, you're just going to say Empire. So that is the first condition. And you're looking for Walker 103. So you're going to do another one. You can see there isn't one. Walker 103 isn't here. Of course, I didn't enter the whole table, remember? If you look closely, you should say someone Empire. Yep, if I went on 3 more records, it would have found something. So you would have found something. So over here, you would also have added then 103. And then, of course, it would have worked. Once again, you would copy. You go to the sheet. You say paste. Okay. This one I can't do because I didn't finish my table. I only have 3. So, what if you can't finish entering all your records and you have to save it and you have to... No problem. When you come back, you just start here again. Enter by using tab, tab, tab. And when you get to this cell, especially use tab, because that is going to grow the table. Same story over here. And as you can see, it's not a problem to put 2 tables, 2 data tables on the same sheet. Okay. So there's quite a few things. So that query would have worked if I entered all my tables. Let me enter it. Let me show you. Let's not be lazy. Waar's my papier? Let's enter only that one, 103. So it's going to be HJ107. Oh, not probably 106, HJ07. Ooh, William, why do you have such a strange last name? Okay, here we have Empire, 29, and it's 103. See, I pressed enter now. Did you see what it did? It went out of my table. It's okay because that doesn't matter. But if I wanted to enter more records, you would have had to say tab. Please remember that. Remember two things. Don't filter a filter. Secondly, use tab. Okay, so let's do that query. Customers from Empire. So once again, we go to the city. We say Empire. And now we are looking for Walker 103. So once again, we filter and we only want. So you leave the one you want checked. So, okay. And that's your result. Maybe there's another one. I don't know. But at least we got something here. I didn't enter everything, remember? And we say paste. Clear all the filters before you continue. Okay. And I think the last one, it says a customer whose name starts with M. I'm thinking it's going to be a text filter that says begins with and begins with M. Did I enter anything that began with M yet? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I'm in customer number. Sorry. It does say customer name. Oh, but I don't have anything. Let me just enter something quickly. Which one has a M? Manston. MA34. Manston. Lisa. Actually, I could have used Maria because it does say name. Anyway, now we have another record. 0. Okay, so it did actually say whose name. So that would be first name. Ugh, we had Maria, but anyway. So we're going to go to a text filter and we're going to say begins with M. And there we have Maria selected. Copy. Okay. Alright, and so as you can see, I was able to do all the queries that I had to do in Access. I could do them actually quite easily in Excel as well. You just need to know, am I working in this table, am I working in this table, and so on. So, data, again, let's just clear our filter, and we are back. So, basically what you need to remember is just to, when you create your table, you just start by typing the column headings. Then you select the column headings on one row below. Before you enter anything, go to Format as Table, choose one design. Remember it has headings, click on OK, and you're ready to go. And then from there on, you will just use these list arrows and you will be able to filter anything you wish. Okay, any questions about this? I'm just going to stop my recording.